our 14th show, I believe. I might have the number off. Today's show is brought to you by, of course, all of our amazing sponsors. And we'd like to put in thank you, Martini Bar. Marty's Martini Bar almost made this show not possible today because I was hanging out with Charles. Do not go to Marty's with Charles or Mark Richardson because you may not end up doing your radio show the next day. There was an Asian lady in there that was defending her rights, and I think she was about to hi-ya a couple of those patrons in there that got a little racial with her, and so we almost witnessed yeah, Marty's Martini Bar located on the north side. Yes, well, these Southsiders would not know where it's in the neighborhood. It's on the side street. It's very, very difficult to find, but it's right in there. But the martinis are really good. So if they didn't pay for that advertisement, I just gave that up. Later on the news, we understand that there was some Southside geese in Jackson Park were reportedly leaving before the fall to fly down south due to gun violence. We want to thank the Mexican Independence Day Committee for not having any more Mexican Independence Day anything. That was the longest ever in my life. I've never been blocked in by horses. Went to visit my mother in Joliet, and there were about 50 horses in the city limits blocking the road. So I don't know how Juneteenth is only celebrated that 15 minutes in that day, and then Mexican Independence Day has been going on for the whole month. How many days did they get? And I don't even know what that permit would look like. I'm glad that their Independence Day was celebrated, and also I'm glad that it's over. Today's show is also brought to you by the book Love, Blood, and Rhinestones. Go to the website lovebloodandrhinestones.com. If you don't have the book yet, you're missing out on a whole bunch of stuff. Get my book, y'all. What is wrong with y'all? I got close friends and don't even have my book. I'm like, why didn't you give me one? I'm not spending $8,000 to write a book and then pass them all out for free. Come on, y'all. Go out there and spend that $14.99. Go to the website, go to Amazon, and get the book. Thank you very much. My last thing is that I live in Maple Park. And I just recently got some information. I don't know if you guys can see that. The Homeowners Association, my grandparents bought in Maple Park 40 years ago. And I just found the most interesting, my neighbor let me see one of the books that they had. There were apparently block clubs. There were nurseries here. There were Sinclair gas stations. There were black-owned and operated. There was a black-owned meat market. Everything that we did, we had in this neighborhood, including the groundbreaking of the Maple Park Missionary Baptist Church. So I thought it was interesting to find out some information about where I live, where my home is. And each block had a block club that had, everybody was required to be in the block club. And you knew all your neighbors, and you knew what they did, you knew what they worked, you knew your phone numbers. Now I can only tell you a handful of my neighbors, the ones that have been here probably since then. I know them, and I know you guys don't know all your neighbors. So thought it would be interesting to tell you, get to know your neighbors today. Let me bring on my co-host, my buddy Steve. He's probably in the back room waiting. Steve has been flying with me since Harold. Hey, Steve-O.
Hello.
All right,
the cam is in, so I don't know why it's blocked, but it says stop cam, which means that it should be displaying.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you'll come. We hear your voice. Maybe you'll come in just a minute. Maybe there's something with, I don't know, aliens.
I'm gonna stop it and start it and see if that helps.
Okay.
That did not help because I still look like the inside of a ultrasound. Katie, is there anything that you can do?
Well, Steve, the only thing that I can tell you to do.
Refresh?
That's right. Log out and log back in.
Okay, log out, log back in, Steve. We'll see if you don't look like the inside of the
And I want to know whose ultrasounds look like that. Somebody that ain't got nothing going on. And Bryant, I need you to talk just a little bit louder.
Okay, I'll talk up a little bit. Is that better?
Oh, that's much better.
Okay, good.
I
I'm having fun.
I still,
It still says I'm still in the backstage.
I don't know what's up. You sure you don't have that camera turned off?
No. Oh. It says I'm in the
Oh, look
backstage.
at that handsome cutie pie. Oh my goodness. You know, you look so good. I'm gonna leave the screen so I can look at you from a distance. Bye.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're
I'm such a tech whiz. I can't imagine what would have happened.
Yeah, well, you know me, I'm not. Everything happens to myself. You can't hear me. I'm even taking it seriously anymore. Sometimes I just like to figure out, like, what's going on? What's happening?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, my best friend?
I'm doing well. I hung out with Charles and Mark last night. The show almost did not go on. I got off to Marty's Martini Bar.
Okay.
And not nice. Today
I
has
talked to
been-
Mark today at 9:30. He was like, "Hello." I said, Now that makes sense. That matches the picture he sent of the two of you, sir.
Oh, really? There was a picture? Oh,
There was a picture in a bar atmosphere. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it was sort of rough, and I don't remember a whole lot of stuff about last night, especially not pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You remember an unsuspecting Asian woman, Lowe, that was told the group, bring it, bitches.
Wow.
I don't know what they said. She got upset. She was about to fight y'all. And, so we left. That's how we ended up outside. That was at Martini Bar. A lot was going on over there, but it was fun. It's good to see Mark on this last day before he's going back to Atlanta.
I forgot he was going.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: what's going on with syphilis?
Oh my God. Okay. I work for CDC, but this is unofficial. This is not from CDC, although I, as a citizen, can look at CDC's website and give you this information that I'm going to relay. Alrighty. Things that are good for the community. CDC is awarded $117 million towards ending the HIV epidemic. So that's going across the United States and a few affiliates outside of the United States. STDs decreased during the first half of 2020, of course, because everything was shut down. No one was going anywhere. There were lots of clinics that were closed. And so there just wasn't testing. So it made sense that it appeared to be a decrease. But before that period, STDs were already on the increase, and they are steadily increasing as we speak.
Oh my God!
My job is extremely busy. My word of wisdom to the public is to, 1, use protection for everything that you do sexually. 2, don't turn out the lights and get under the covers before you become intimate. Leave the lights on. Look at everything that is going to be involved in the forthcoming sexual acts. Make sure you do not see sores and lesions and gross smells. If you observe any of those 3 items, back away. Tell your friend to come back at another time, preferably after they've been to a clinic and have been examined and treated. And the same should go for yourself. Serious business.
Smells and sores and lesions are never
Very
tell
mind.
you to go away from them.
Yes. Be very serious. What else? Congenital syphilis, when it comes to newborns, it was already on the rise. From our figures from CDC's figures from 2019, new cases of syphilis among newborns went up 279%.
Wow.
And that was and at that point, that was preliminary from 2020.
Wow.
So that figure is be much higher, and it's making my job crazy. So word of the wise to anyone that is pregnant, or anyone that you know of that is pregnant, make sure that they are getting tested throughout their pregnancy for syphilis.
Wow.
And their sex partner as well.
That is
and
amazing.
That's my cheerful report on STDs and HIV in America.
Yay, thank you, Uncle Stephen. So fun. All right.
I know. So much fun. So much fun. No, but yeah. Just like COVID, take care of yourself and take care of others. This is the public health issue. Everyone is important in this equation, not just you.
Yeah, that's thank Steve. Katie chimed in and somebody typed in, look at the private parts. Yeah, I guess you should just like lift everything up and look at and see what's going on.
Yeah, just be a responsible adult and look and ask questions. Have you been tested recently? Are you HIV positive? Are you on PrEP? When was your last STD test? Ask the questions. You're adults. You're about to do something between consenting adults. Continue it and play it on out. Ask questions before you get involved. Before you come back with something that you can't get rid of.
Is that sort of taboo? I guess for people, to first of all, yeah. I mean, I think everybody should be adult enough now to ask.
Yeah.
Those threatening questions, but we don't do it. And another thing, because people were so trapped, you thinking as with people being trapped and sexually deprived in the house, and then when they got out, they just got buck wild and started, just having sex with whoever they could get.
Anecdotally, that's what I think, and a lot of colleagues think the same thing. And a lot of people, like you said, they were inside quarantining and isolating. Then the vaccine came out, and it was kind of like, hey, I'm vaccinated. I'm ready to do everything. I got PrEP. PrEP is the HIV prevention medication, and it's a very good thing. But as a colleague said to me many years ago, as it was in the development stage, he said, I think it's going to be a good thing, but I don't think it's going to be a good thing for STD prevention. Because HIV, of course, is the worst that you can probably get out of unprotected sex. But PrEP will prevent you from becoming infected with HIV, but it won't protect you from the other STDs. So many folks are saying, well, if I can protect myself from HIV, whatever else can be treated, I'm good. So you have that mentality as well.
And so, because syphilis to me is like, like the plague. It's so old and out there, just even the thought of it coming back.
I'm amazed at how many people say that. There's still syphilis. Syphilis never went anywhere. There were always low levels of syphilis in society. That's why I'm still working with CDC. Syphilis never went anywhere. It's usually localized in populations of males that have sex with males, and the populations that use drugs and share needles. That's usually where it is. But then there are cycles over the years where syphilis increases for whatever reason, and we're in that 10 to 15 year cycle of increases again.
Wow.
It never went anywhere. No.
So you know what? I think that we have guarded against germs that you can't. you're floating around in another human's body. So it's amazing. That is amazing report. Wow. Well, thanks, Steve.
No problem. Enjoy your sex life. Have a nice day.
I'm really excited about them. They might come up to new experiences in dating.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. When was your last STD test?
Before we even leave the restaurant.
Right. So we can just not waste any time now. If you stink, bye-bye.
Wow. So,
yeah.
You guys, I'm laughing and joking, but this is a very, very serious thing. Steve knows what he's talking about. As a matter of fact, he keeps me abreast of every little thing that's coming my way. But and so you want to man up and ask a question before you just dive in and never know what you come up with.
Yes, sir.
So today I've got a couple of amazing folks that are going to be on the show. Don't you guys go anywhere. We've got our well-requested entertainer, singer, producer, Miss Queen Quiana. Hey there, Queen.
Hi there. I'm still trying to get to your house with all them doggone horses and carriages. I couldn't even get to you. I was trying to come. I couldn't get across town.
I told you, I was confused early on this house. Them damn horses was everywhere until the end. And they were like 50 horses.
And they were everywhere, literally.
And horses and hats. Mexican independence.
And after 10:30 that night, every other corner I went to, the police had somebody pulled over and there was a car accident.
Oh,
and I'm not lying, like going down Jefferson Street, every other corner you went to, the police had people stopped because they were hitting each other drunk. Like, it went down on the Mexican Independence Day.
Yeah, the Independence Day was like 9 days. It was not like Easter Day. Juneteenth was like 15 minutes, and then, it was over. If you didn't catch the celebration, it was over. Mexican Independence Day was 9 days. Every day I was trapped downtown, getting off of work and couldn't get past because of the cars and the flags, and the valet people made me walk with them to get my own damn car. They could drive.
Were they scared?
No, they couldn't get through the traffic. It was gridlock, so they made me walk with them.
They said, "Here, get in your car and buy."
Yeah, they told me to go that way, and so I went the way they told me. So it was a hot mess. I'm glad you're on, Queen. I actually have
Hey, Queen.
a friend of mine.
Hey, darling.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Good to see you. And great performance last month at the family reunion.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's still my favorite people were there. Steve and Queen, everybody still about you. Been it off, but she's performed it too, my family reunion. So I think she's a staple. So if you come to the reunion, you're going to see Queen. Then be like, where's that other girl?
See, that means we're going to have to start charging tickets. That's what that means.
There you go. There you go.
So, before we go any further, I don't know if Miss Gladys or else is in the background, but she's a very good friend of mine at work. And I want to bring Gladys on and say hi. Hey, Gladys.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Miss Gladys.
Hello.
Where are you with that mask on? Are there people around you?
I'm still at work. I can't get away. I tried so hard. I cannot get away.
No, that's okay. So Gladys is my friend Steve on the top, and my girlfriend who's on the show, Queen, and you guys meet Gladys Lowe.
I love Gladys.
So,
Gladys de Puerto Rico y Colombia.
Ah.
Welcome. Buenos dias.
Muchísimas gracias.
Y habla español muy poquito.
Un poquito español.
Poquito, muy poquito.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
We're going to keep moving. I can hear you now, yes. So Gladys has shared with me her right. I didn't know I worked with her for several years here. Every morning when I come through today and I jewelry with her, she's written a story called The Shadow of My Life. I'm just going to dive in here. Gladys, you okay with me reading the comment? Okay. So you're having a problem hearing me? That's all right. We'll keep going. So the title of her story is called The Shadow of My Life. Early on in the story, the characters are the father, David Rosario, Evelyn Rosario is the mother, Michael Rosario is the son of 8 years old, and Emily, daughter of 8 years old. Early on in the story opens by introducing Evelyn, the mother, with children, Emily, the daughter, and Michael, the brother. And it's Monday morning, the Rosario family busy school and work week. The children, Emily and Michael, are running in the house and making their usual loud, playful, yet fighting morning noises. And pouring her first cup of coffee as she puts the cup closest and inhales the bold aroma of her favorite coffee. She barely gets in a sip when all of a sudden here comes the noise of running feet as she turns around her 4-year-old daughter, Emily, running out from the corner of the kitchen, screaming, "Mommy, Mommy, tell him to stop." My toy again. Emily is now safely locked in her mother's arms, and there he comes, her older brother, 8-year-old David, trying to take away an old family baby wooden rattle. When we then learn that Evelyn is and her husband is a detective in the city of Chicago. The story explored Evelyn is a nurturing mother, an amazing principal, and dedicated, loving wife, husband, and mother children. But recently, there's something horribly wrong with Evelyn, as she starts to experience pain, and continuous man who strangled women and children. She hears the cries of these unrested souls and the victims that closure, and she fears not. She is chosen and has a special gift of the lost souls find the light. Now months go by and she feels that she is connected to these voices and the nightmares. The story being fast forward. Evelyn's visions are interfering with her marriage, raising children, her friends at work. Evelyn finds herself one night out in a rainstorm, coming home from work. She pulls over the car and calls her husband David, telling him he's just minutes away from home, but she cannot see because of the heavy rain. And her husband says, "Stay there, stay parked, excuse me, until the rain calms, and he will see her in a few minutes." As Evelyn picks up the phone, she's experiencing a dizzy feeling and drops her head down. As she listens to her head, the rain has now stopped. She's actually in another vision. She knew that it was dangerous to drive, so she drove 4 hours away from her home as if she knew where she was going. She drives up into a farm and stops the car. It suddenly begins to Evelyn out of the car and under the nearby tree. Whatever that is, mutual home. She pulls up towards the tree and starts to trying to hold her hand as she drops several times. She wipes away the mud with the rain and she screams out, "Why? No, no, no." Evelyn holding the skull of a baby. The story takes a turn after being arrested for discovery. Evelyn is joined by her husband David and walks in Texas. Evelyn begins to cry, saying, "I didn't do this. Please, you must believe me." Her husband reaches for her hand and tells her to calm down. Detectives tell Evelyn there's no way you could have committed this crime. As Evelyn looks into the detective's eyes, he says to her, "We dug out of the tree, found hundreds of remains of women and infants. The forensic test came back, and these committed over mute your phone, Gladys. These murders were committed over a century ago.
Yeah.
He might have a special gift and connection to people that have had violent ways. They have reassured her that she is not alone. Evelyn looks at her husband and says in a soft voice, "I knew it. I told you I have a gift to connect with the dead." Weeks go by and Evelyn's appearance is changing. She has started circling her eyes, not eating, she's losing rapidly. She's starting to feel as if the shadow of the man and the dark evil fool coming after her because she wants to help spirits in peace. She sees the shadow in her house. Behind her, she walks up the stairs, and she has seen the massive bloody hands holding a knife, carving a piece of wood as if he's making something. Evelyn has felt the presence of the killer around her more than ever. The evil force is following her all in all that she does. She has seen the shadow in the stores and windows when she's out shopping. He feels its presence and sees the image in the shadow and turns around to walk towards him, but he always disappears. She has seen him walking in the hallway of her school. She has seen him several times standing behind her. Then he is always standing close to her now more than when she drinks. Evelyn discovered going through the box of that her mother had written her a special photo of her first day of school. When she a photo of when she was born, her mother holding her, and the evil shadow is standing in the background over her. She then looks at the photos of herself of her first, second, third, and her high school, and college, her wedding. So many photos throughout her life, and she starts to cry and shake. After seeing his shadow is always with her. After weeks go by, things become normal again, and Evelyn falls and starts hearing the cries of the same women she's heard. Evelyn went sleeping and looks around her room. She then realizes that she's inside the train. She's looking at all the dead women, and Evelyn begins to turn around, once looking at the same woman being strangled. She then crawls under the murderous arms and finds herself between the killer woman as he is strangling her. Oh, she feels her hand strangling the woman. Oh wait, let's get something. She screams for him to let go, and she tries to release his fingers from around her throat by scratching his hands. Evelyn works her eyes up to the victim's face as she can see the tears falling down her cheeks, and she can hear her gasping for air. She looks into her eyes again and sees herself inside the victim's eyes. Evelyn's heart starts to race, and she feels her entire body trembling. An uncontrollable feeling takes over. As she looks down, she's in front of the woman and sees herself in the woman's eyes, and she can see it herself. As she looks deeper into her eyes, Evelyn can see the man standing within her and not behind her. She feels her hand slip the woman until she's killed, and her lifeless body slowly slips from the grip of her hand. Evelyn turns around and looks for the shadow and finds herself back in her bedroom. She looks at her husband sleeping. She walks out from her room and goes into the bathroom that's in the hallway and next to her children's bedrooms. She walks over to the sink, turns on the cold water, splashes her face, and begins to cry, saying to herself, "It was me. It was me. And I knew where to find the bodies under the tree because I was this man in the past. I was a murderer. Why women? Why children? Why?" As she slowly brings her head up to look in the mirror, she sees herself in the shadow of her past life. Walks toward her and they become one. She sees her reflection in the mirror, transform into who she once was a century ago and who she still is. After looking at herself for a time, she looks out the left corner of the mirror and sees Michael standing behind her, looking at the man in the mirror. Michael realized that he saw him, and she runs into the baby sister Emily's room, jumping into the bed, pulls the covers over his head, holding his sister close to him. He hears the door opening and softly with fear, the voice, "Mommy, is that you?" Evelyn responds, "Yes, son, it's me." As she's opening the door to her room, she can see her arm and hand transform into a man in a murder she once was in her past life. She takes a deep breath and smiles and walks into her children's room, closing the door behind her. This came out of that head right there, out of Gladys Morales. I was like, girl, you a spooky girl.
Gladys, that's a lot.
Thank you.
Wow.
The only thing that I said when I was thinking, I was mad because it was so short. I was like, girl, I want the rest. Shit, what happened? I want some more. So Gladys, you are amazing. You don't just sell silk and look gorgeous. You
Thank
are
you.
amazing. You did have some stuff Gladys.
Yes. Question number 1. What prompted you to write this novel and this kind of novel?
Well, you know what? Growing up with 8 brothers and sisters, we were always all infatuated with horror movies. And then you get older, and then Jason number 19, 20, whatever comes out, and you think to yourself, how many times can they rewrite these horror films, you know? Freddy Krueger, how many times can you write a person being possessed by a demon? It gets boring. It really does. So I said, maybe if I take a twist and do suspense and horror and put them together, and because I've seen so many movies throughout my life, I know what to write about because I know what's not out there. So there you go. It's all just a passion and being, I always thought when I was younger, it was so much fun being scared. Because after you get scared, you're looking at the screen, you get scared and startled, then you start laughing. So it's actually fun. And I think that there is I believe that there's just so much missing when they make horror movies these days and books. It's always the same thing over and over again. So, yeah.
Here's a quick little question for the whole panel. Something you touched on, Gladys. The horror stories and the suspense stories that, well, Quiana, you look pretty young, so you may be too young, but the suspense stories and what was considered gory back, let's say 70s, 80s, is a lot different than now. To now, in the last 10 years, it seems like the gore is just like the kitchen's open, six minutes in, and 17 heads have been just cut off, and there's no suspense. It's just gore, 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 gore. What do you think, Gladys, and how does your piece set itself apart from that type of horror?
Gladys, did you hear?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
Let me get to the meat of it. What we considered gory and suspenseful probably in the 60s, 70s, and 80s seems a lot different from what's considered horror and gory now. It's just lady walks in the room and she gets her head chopped off. There's no element of suspense and surprise. What do you think of that issue, and how does your novel set itself apart from that type of just blatant gore? Exactly.
There's a lot of movies that came out within the past 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the name of it.
Saw?
Saw. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, it to me, it wasn't scary. It was actually kind of gross, right? These people trying to kill each other to get out of a room, and I mean, just really you're watching everything. You're like, okay, so who's gonna kill who next? So I mean, it's all revealed, and to me, it's it's pretty disgusting. I don't get it.
Yeah,
my preference for writing it, I like to be kept in suspense. Like, what's gonna happen? Where's it going? You want to keep your audience guessing. You want to keep them intrigued by like, oh my goodness, so what's the end of this? And knowing that the end is going to be something that's going to continue into something else, to me it's just amazing. So the movies that I grew up with, scary at the first, yes. Second, maybe. The third, you walk away, you don't want to see anymore. Mm-hmm. I actually watched, I want to confess something, I watched the Jason movies and Halloween movies and stuff, Freddy Krueger movies, when my kids got older and they wanted to see them. I'd never seen like the third, the fourth, the fifth, I'd never seen them. And then when I sat down to see them now as a full-grown adult with children, I was like, are you kidding me? That's it? So I think the passion for being, it's not about being scared, but I think it's more about being, what's going to happen next. And then comes the punch.
Think about it. Gotcha.
How many children do you have?
I'm sorry?
How many children do you have yourself?
How many books have I written?
How many children?
I have 8 children. I have 8 children.
Wow.
And 19 grandchildren.
Mama.
Pull my mask down.
Pull it down so we can see you. Really quick.
Wow.
Grandma right there.
Beautiful.
Amazing, Gladys.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Some of our listeners on the show said that you have an excellent storyline, and I thank you so much that you spent time. I know you're at work, but I wanted to have you back again. We'll see what's to come. Where?
Let's see.
Like, is it a place? You got something else?
No, we want to make sure before you go, I'm glad. Where can we get your novel? Tell us all the places that we can get it.
Well, I'm still perfecting it.
Oh, okay.
That's not my first story. I just want everybody to know that I have altogether 9 stories that I have put together, and I'm looking for publishing, and it just keeps going. I'm actually at work right now, and I was feeling an idea, and I just grab a piece of receipt paper and I start writing. And it's just, I'm looking forward for everybody to see these stories. My goodness, read them, experience them. And my goal is to have my stories sitting at somebody's library at home.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we will push you, and as soon as you get it put together, I'm sure Katie and Bryant will definitely advertise it on our platform.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Continue success.
All right, bye-bye. And you'll probably be there so Katie takes you through that group. Hey, Katie, put Gladys on ice.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Something different.
Yeah, I mean, I like to have information. Showcase people that are out there doing stuff, and from all walks of life. You never know what the person next to you is capable of. So, Queen, what are you performing for us today? Because I don't know if Etherio is in the back yet, but we might as well get back. What you been up to, sexy lady?
Honey, I've been up to all kinds of stuff. Life is real interesting around these parts.
I know that's what. You have a performance?
Pardon?
You have a performance next Wednesday.
Yes, next Wednesday I'll be performing at Thingamajigs in Fox Valley Mall. We're doing a wind down Wednesday. It's actually a virtual reality lounge. So it's VR fun. It's like amazing. If you haven't done the virtual reality video games, definitely encourage you to come out and put the goggles on and grab the the joysticks with the hands, and it's a whole nother experience. It is amazing.
Oh, I can't wait. What time? Sadie and I are gonna come next Wednesday.
Yes, please do. It starts at 5 o'clock. I'm not sure what the cover is. It won't be much because it's a wine down Wednesday, so we're gonna be doing wine and cheese, and then you get to enjoy the live music and then do some virtual reality, some VR. So my friend David Jordan owns that place, and we just had Mackenzie Thomas from The Voice there Friday. I hosted and sung for them also, and it was an amazing time. So.
Nice.
Great. Excited. What are you gonna do for us today? Because I think you got me questions and you just my imagination.
I did. So I guess that's what I'm doing today. I'm later on we'll get the address, folks, to where we'll be next Wednesday. You can join the show there. Of course, Steve's in Jersey. He was here for the last show. He was actually in Chicago for Jersey. Now he's back.
Such a blessing.
But, we want all of our listeners, everybody that's tuning into the show, know what with me and in the basement with McLemore will be next Wednesday. Enjoy it and stay tuned. We'll get you the address. And without further ado, we're gonna have that sultry songs of Lady Queen. Yeah.
Yes, I also want to let you guys know that I am about to drop my second album. The title is J. Amatel, and that means my name is in French. J. Amatel.
Okay, I got you. When is that coming?
Well, we're looking around November. I have one more track to finish, and we got some music videos to do, photo shoots, and I just got accepted on this reality television show, so I'm not exactly sure where that's going to take me. So things are kind of just piling up. I'll be on this reality TV show called Redo My Tattoo. And
okay.
And so things are just kind of piling up here. Gigs coming in left and right. So it's seeming like my schedule date for the release of the album is not going to be what I'm planning it to be, simply because of, things piling up, which that's absolutely great. I'm fine with that. But
that's a blessing.
The sounds that you'll hear on this particular album, I am attributing them to my heritage. So you'll hear a lot of island beats, West Indian, French Creole, Haitian, Afro beats. So the Just My Imagination remake, Running Away With Me is the name of the track. You can find it on the major platforms, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon. And it has a kind of island feel,
Yeah. Good. I'm excited. Congratulations. But the circle of life, I was busy earlier. Now I'm stagnant while we're waiting to get busy. And I suffer when I'm not on film. I'm like, oh Lord, I don't want to just do the 9 to 5 thing. It drives me crazy. I've had a couple of weeks going straight to work and not having amongst actors and doing the thing that I do. So it's amazing when you're too busy.
It is.
I'm gonna suck on some of that energy, girl.
Come on over here. We need to sleep over anyway.
Yes. Don't threaten me with no good time.
Honey, look, I got 3 bottles of wine on ice right now. So.
He's on his way. He's on his way.
So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, in the basement is my favorite, Queen Quiana.
Yes.
Can you guys hear that? It was just my imagination running away with me. It was just my imagination running away with me. Let's run away, leave that vacation, go baby today. Across the ocean, we in Sandra Pay. Ballin' like us, I know they can't relate. Post for IG, they gon' like but gon' hate. Fuck what they say. Stuck in the town like Josephine, go your way. I close my eyes somewhere new every